Hello, Facebook world. Welcome back to another live Q&A event where we are answering your questions. As a matter of fact, you're starting to hit me up in the DMs and hit Epic up in the DMs and then the comments, and you're starting to say, hey, can you talk about, this, or can you talk about that? And guys, we're going to start customizing these live Q&As based on what you want to know. We had some topics set aside, and we'll fill those in on weeks that you don't have topics already. But we're so excited to be answering your questions about the things you want to be talking about. And so we were hit up in the DM a couple of weeks ago. Can you guys please elaborate on a few more things? We've mentioned ENN, we've mentioned the Collegiate Academy, and we've mentioned the TEL courses before, but you have more questions about them. So that's what we're talking about today. Before we get into it, you have also talked about the clothing. I had so many people reach out to me after last week. Well, first of all, 2 weeks ago, people said, where do you get this Epic stuff? So I wore something Epic last week. And then they were like, I challenge you to wear something Epic every Friday. So here we go. This is my next Epic shirt. I'm showing it off. I got it in the Epic store. You can have those too. All right. So today we have the most amazing panel. I am so excited about the wealth of knowledge we have here. We've got Kara and Nicole and Scott, and they're here to help answer your questions. I just need you to put them in on the comments section so that we can get them going. But before we get going, let me introduce these guys, or I'll have them introduce themselves. And basically, tell me who you are and what is your partnership or position at Epic. And so, Scott, can we start with you? I'm always just so amazed whenever I get to speak with you. I'm in awe. So tell me who you are, what you've done in the past, and why you decided to bring that skill set to Epic.
My name is Scott Carter, and I am a journalist. I've been a journalist in Oklahoma for about 40 years, primarily an investigative and political reporter. The past several years, I was teaching at a community college and left there and came to Epic to help start ENN, which is Oklahoma's only statewide high school journalism program. I work with my good friend Phil Cross, and we literally started from the ground up and built the program. We are now entering our second year. We have more than 60 students, and we're off to what looks like to be a really good start. Our students are full of energy, they're excited, and we have a big election to cover. So that's what we're doing right now. We're staying really busy.
I love it. And one of the things I remember when you guys, before it had even started, we were all sitting around a table and we talked about the possibility of this being the largest news network in all of Oklahoma, because we literally have kids in all 77 counties. I'm so pleased to see that you're on your way to that.
It's a good
Nicole,
group. They're very excited.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep telling me, Scott.
That's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just they're a big group. They're scattered all over the state, and they bring a different view. Each one of them brings a different viewpoint.
Awesome. Well, Nicole, tell me who you are, how long you've been at Epic, and what you do around here.
All right. I'm Nicole Ellison, and I'm the Director of College and Career Readiness here at Epic. And so I do lots of different things, but one of those is even partnering with Epic News Network. Our juniors and seniors who participate in that program, they're going through a true internship. And so they can get high school credit through that program as participating in an internship, working with those incredible mentors. And so just wanted to say that it's not just a club, it is a true course that students are getting to participate in and earn credit. But as the Director of College and Career Readiness, I help oversee concurrent enrollment from internships, career tech enrollment, all of those things. And I have a passion for working with high school students. I've been around now for about 3 years, and I absolutely love Epic.
Thank you so much. Kara, you aren't actually an Epic employee. We've partnered with your program. Tell me who you are, who you work for, and what you're excited about in this partnership.
Sure. Yes, I am. I work as the Director of Academic Services for TEL. Was an educator for many, many years, and I have recently joined TEL and partnered with EPIC to offer concurrent dual credit courses to students that are able to get their high school and college credits at the same time. So I'm really excited to be a part of TEL and to work with EPIC and be able to give students the opportunity to have this experience and get as many college credits as possible before they graduate. So it's just been lovely to work with everyone this year and develop plans for success for these students.
Awesome. And thank you so much for being here. I know you all have an amazing and busy schedule. And so thank you for being here. I see several of you checking in. Amanda, thanks for being here. April, tag anybody you want to. Tell them to get here. James, we see you. And hopefully we can answer some questions for you. So I'm about to start asking questions. If this is your first time to be at one of our live events, will you throw me up some thumbs up emojis? Tell us that you're here and let us see you. All right, I see you coming through. And if you've been to several of our EPIC live events here, throw in some heart emojis and tell us that you're happy to be back. Francis, you're going to want to contact your principal, or you can hit us up on DM here and we'll try to help you. I hope that helps. Okay, Scott, tell me about ENN. The questions that we had coming through, people are like, ENN, what's that stand for? What is it? And who can be a part of it?
ENN is the EPIC News Network, and it is a giant high school journalism program. Like I said, it's statewide. It's open primarily to freshmen through senior in high school, but we have students in the 7th and 8th grade. One of our students last year was named best photographer in the state by the state's High School Media Association. So we work with all types of students, and the goal is to get them prepared for college. When they drop in that class in that college journalism program, they're ahead of the curve. They can do that stuff with their eyes closed. That's what our goal is. We have more than 60 students right now. We cover the state. They're writing about everything from politics to pop culture. I have 10 student photographers who, from what I've seen so far, are just absolutely terrific. We have student broadcasters. We have students developing podcasts. We have students going the traditional print media route. It's all about journalism and especially embracing the changes that journalism is going through right now. So we're trying to stay ahead of the curve and get these kids prepared for college.
And now I know you guys push out the ENN report each week. One of your students did a review on Mulan. These are all student stories. Am I right? I mean, we're collecting things from the nation. But the writing is from the students, not from you.
Right. Occasionally, Phil and I will do stories. Those are labeled and marked differently, but about 95% of the work that's being done by ENN is being done by the students. They come up with their assignments. We work with them on how to get sources, how to vet sources, where to go for information, and then they write the stories. We help them edit them, and then they're published or broadcast. And so it's a traditional high school journalism program times 10.
That's fantastic. Kelly wants to know, how is TEL different than going to concurrent classes up the street?
Sure. Yes. Through TEL, you take, your courses that are going to cover both your high school and college level courses. But it is different in the fact of AP. courses that there is no exam. You don't have to take that exam at the very end to get the credit. So once you have passed the course, you have that college those college hours on your transcript. So we are partnering with Oklahoma Christian College, and you will take those courses directly from the platform. They're all virtual and online, and you will order your transcript, and it will say Oklahoma Christian at the top, that you will not have to take any exam at the end of your course as you would with others.
That is awesome. Thank you. And Jessica, Rita, Sarah, I see your questions. I'm going to start asking them. Rita wants to know, Kara, what does TEL stand for? Is that an acronym?
TEL is just our educating, learning, where we're providing college level courses. It stands for just our mission to provide just affordable college courses to learners. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And let me see here. Jessica says, I have been with Epic for 9 years now. I have one 9th grader and one 3rd grader. Jessica, that is awesome. And let us know if we can answer any questions for you. Sarah wants to know, are you explaining about the Collegiate Academy? And so, Nicole, I'm going to hand that one over to you. What is the Epic Collegiate Academy, and what can people expect from that program?
That's so great. So as we've already mentioned, we have a partnership with TEL and Oklahoma Christian. So we already have hundreds of students across the state taking concurrent coursework through TEL and Oklahoma Christian, earning that college coursework, juniors and seniors. We're already doing that. That partnership has been established, and you've heard us talk about that before under Next Step and through other emails and such. But the Epic Collegiate Academy is something that is brand new. And so this is really an extension of our partnership. And this is where our current 10th graders who are enrolled, right now we are accepting applications of those students. They have to have a 3.0 GPA or higher, fill out the required application, which has been sent out in email. It's getting sent out weekly. The deadline for that application is Friday, October the 2nd. And then from that, we will identify the students who are accepted into the program. And really what ECA is it's a strategic sequence of both high school and college courses through this TEL partnership, where that when it's all said and done, when the student graduates from high school, as long as they maintained passing grades and participated in this program starting the spring of their sophomore year through high school graduation, then they would be eligible to earn an associate's degree with Oklahoma Christian through this partnership.
That is awesome. So Lisa wants to know, are Epic Collegiate and TEL the same thing then?
That's a great question. It's the same platform. It's the same partnership. It's really just a different path. If I have current juniors and seniors right now this year wanting to participate, then they are completely welcome to enroll. And we encourage that as long as they meet that GPA requirement. Like I said, we already have hundreds of students doing it. But the ECA program is just an extension. We're starting students a little bit sooner so that they can maximize the opportunity for earning more college credit.
Boom. I love that. Man, guys, just all the different pathways that we can offer kids Epic has exploded in all of the different pathways. And I mean, one of my favorite stories to tell is we graduated a kiddo who was 6 months into a prison sentence. The same year we graduated a kid getting a full ride scholarship to West Point Academy, and everything in between. And so TEL is available for somebody who wants to get their feet wet and try it. But this Collegiate Academy is so different in that we are identifying 10th graders and saying, hey, we think we can get you through 2 years of college before you graduate high school, or by the time you graduate high school. That's awesome.
For free.
That is really, really awesome. Let me see here. Rita wants to know, what associate's degree is given with the Collegiate Academy? Do we, I know that right now it's still kind of a work in progress. We have an idea of what direction that might take.
Yeah, it's an Associates of Science with Oklahoma Christian. The sequence of those courses is still being worked through, and that Associates is currently pending approval with the Higher Learning Commission. The coursework is already approved and accredited. We're just waiting on that final approval, but thankfully we have a little bit of time as that continues to go through the approval process. So we have a couple of years before our first cohort would finish.
Awesome. Phil, Mindy wants to know, Scott, Mindy wants to know, is the ENN platform leaning one direction or not? And so I'm guessing that might mean right wing, left wing. How is it balanced? What is your opinion on that?
It's leaning toward good journalism. I think one of the things we have to do with ENN is not only educate kids on how to do good journalism, but educate them what that is. And there's, sometimes that rubs people the wrong way when you start asking questions. It doesn't come in, ENN doesn't come in with a political philosophy. It comes in with the idea that we're going to try to find the best obtainable version of the truth. That's what every journalism program in the country is trying to teach, or most every journalism program in the country, and that's what we're trying to teach.
Phil, I wish you could see the emojis flying with your answer. And you didn't say one way or another, but you just said balanced and fair journalism. I'm sorry, I just said Phil again. It's Scott. Scott, Phil is your partner. But
we're kind of interchangeable.
The emojis. What's that?
I said we're kind of interchangeable, so that's fine.
You are not. You are amazing. But the emojis were flying like crazy with your answer, and you should go back and watch that moment whenever this rebroadcasts, so that you can be as proud as the parents were to hear that answer. That was beautiful. Lisa says, should students go to Oklahoma Christian to get more information about the fields available for the associate's degree?
They would actually not. They can email me at any time, or on our Next Step website, we have a link which has information as well as a link to the application. And if I don't have the exact answer, if it's really more of a question for TEL or Oklahoma Christian, then we'll certainly get you connected with the correct people.
Yeah, because this is a very specific path right now. It's a nursing student wouldn't necessarily go through this if that was the associate's degree they were looking for. Right. Okay, good.
Right.
Well, sorry, did you have a follow-up?
No.
Okay, so sorry. Sarah wants to know, can your student do a work study or an internship while also going through the ECA program?
That's a great question. So the sequence in which a student takes courses, there is a little bit of wiggle room for additional electives here or there. And so we absolutely encourage students to participate in as many post-secondary or career preparation courses as possible. So we won't limit a student. I would say really the most difficult thing would be for a student attending a full-time career tech program and then attempting to pursue the associate's degree. That would really be very, very difficult. But being able to participate in a semester of internship or work-based learning, I think that's very feasible.
Okay, and Rita has another question. She says, what universities does the Oklahoma Christian Associate's degree transfer to? And Rita, I think that's going to be a tough one. You might just check with the university your student is looking at going to and seeing if they accept those transferring credits. I know for a long time, Oral Roberts University did not accept like a TCC credits unless it came with an associate's degree. But do either of you have a varying opinion on that?
I do know that since OC is nationally accredited, that many of the universities do accept and transfer those over. My daughter is taking these courses right now through Epic and through OC, and she will be going to OU eventually. And we have looked and just been able to line up a lot of those credits, so you can go into the university that you would eventually want to, if you wanted to go a different route, and just see exactly what lines up, and it's just see what those numbers look like there, and get a really good idea. So I would recommend definitely going to that institution.
Yeah, I would just add that when we're talking just courses for courses, you're going to go to that college which you think you would apply or enroll at, like OU, and they do. They have a section of their website dedicated to credit equivalency, and so you tell them where you're taking your current coursework, and then they will show you what that's equivalent for at their college. The difference is when you come with an entire degree, especially from Oklahoma Christian that is nationally accredited, generally they will take the entire degree. So there's a big win there. I don't want to speak to all colleges, but again, that when you come with the whole degree, they can't pick and choose. They just decide if they're accepting the degree. And again, being a nationally accredited school, I don't think you'll see much resistance, but that's a very individual thing for you to research, and important as you're going through the application process to decide if this is a right program for you.
Yes, and Anna Biederman, who has a high school senior this year, just posted a map for Oklahoma State University, and a lot of universities have kind of a flow chart that says if this, then this. And so there's one for Oklahoma State on there, but she did say that there were others out there. Let me see here. I don't want to miss this question. Lisa wants to know, how would the spring courses change if a student starts Epic Collegiate in the spring? And so I have a follow-up question, or a prereq question for that. This program is kicking off this spring. Am I right, Nicole?
Yes.
Okay, and so would the spring of a 10th grade year be the year you start moving forward every other school year?
Yes, so this spring, based on our current sequence, they would take 4 credit hours, a 3 credit, actually 4 credit on the college side, and it would be 0.7 on the high school side. So just 2 classes. One would be college readiness, and I think the other is intro to communications. Please don't quote me on that. It could change. As I said, this is in the works, but that's what it currently looks like. So it's starting out small. I will also say that coursework is required in the summer. So there are summer courses to take each summer, the summer after 10th grade year and the summer after 11th grade year.
Awesome. And Cinsa, if I said that incorrectly, since I apologize, but Cinsa wants to know, do you have to live in Oklahoma City to do the ENN program?
No, like I said, we have students all across the state. We meet with them virtually. Actually it was this week. Phil was in Tulsa meeting with students up there. And in the near future, I'll be on the road meeting with some students in Western Oklahoma. So no, we have students all over the state, and we like that. We encourage that.
Awesome. Amanda wants to know, and Kara or Nicole, you guys can either one hop in here. How do we know if we're taking the wrong courses or courses that may conflict with a pre-planned ECA course sequence? Can either of you speak to that? And what do the GSMs take care of this, or Nicole, should we go directly through you on the ECA coursing?
Given that your student is already in coursework required for their high school diploma, I would say that this really isn't a concern. Every student is going to have their own individual path, and we understand that all of the 10th graders applying right now are going to be on different tracks and different paths. So we will have to align some of those courses. So I would not fret about that. We will begin to go through those applications as soon as it closes on October the 2nd. We will spend the month of October and some of November going through and really creating those plans, looking at each individual student, checking GPAs. And then once students have been accepted, then that's when we'll start going over that plan and deciding what it looks like. But we've taken some of that into account. So I think we're okay as long as they're on track and on cohort. I don't think that they could be taking the wrong courses.
Awesome. And you just said a word that I want to make sure everybody understands: cohort. Can you explain that for me really quickly, Nicole?
Yeah. So every student when you come into high school, you have what's a cohort. The general cohort is 4 years. So a current ninth grader would be on track to graduate in the cohort year of 2023. So these students that are applying for our ECA program would be, they would need to be on track as a 10th grader to graduate in 2023. So it's just 4 years from the year that you entered high school. And every student is different. So if we have a student who has to take a little bit longer, that just means that their cohort is a 5-year cohort. But most students graduate in that 4-year time frame.
Excellent. Suzanne wants to know, how do courses like foreign language fit into this format?
No, that's a great question. We have in the scope and sequence of the coursework, these would of course be college prep students, so they're on that college grad plan. So we account for the requirement already. So whether a student is taking that on the high school level or the college level, we will integrate that into their plan.
Beautiful. And Scott. Okay, good deal. Scott, talk to me about the legislative session and what that looks like whenever you're covering the legislative session.
We take students out to the Capitol every legislative session, and they get not only a good lesson on how to cover state government, but they usually get a pretty eye-opening experience on how state government functions. Some of them are really surprised by the inner workings of how complicated it is for a bill to become a law, and some of them have a really good understanding of it. But we try to do that every year. I think that's a big part of teaching journalism. Is one of the fundamentals of journalism is being that government watchdog, and we want to start them early understanding that role. So that's why we go out to the Capitol. They learn their way around. They interview lawmakers. They sit in on committee meetings. I remember last year we went to the several committee meetings, and one of our students, she's now our news editor, she was good at it too. She live tweeted from the committee meeting, and we had people following along, just getting a minute by minute account of what was going on. So it's a pretty eye-opening experience. I will do it a couple of days a week. My partner Phil does it the other 2 days a week. It's a great experience, and it's really educational for them because they get a really deep understanding of government and of how journalists should cover government.
Awesome. And we're getting so close to the cutoff on time. We do have a couple more questions. Sky wants to know, how does concurrent enrollment work? Would I be able to get out of it if it becomes too much or if it becomes too stressful? And how's that look if a kiddo needs to maybe dump one of those college courses? How's that affect transcripts and grades and such? Do you know, or is that more of a question for the GSM team?
No. That's a great question. So we get it. Every student has their own individual path, and you might apply for this program pursuing a degree, but realize that it is too much because essentially not everyone in the spring of their 10th grade year is ready for that coursework. And so we have a few week window where students can drop out of a course, and then that doesn't impact their college transcript or high school transcript. We want to give students that window of time. However, after that drop date, just like with any college class, then there's a certain point in which the student would then receive a W on their college transcript for withdrawing from the course after that drop date. And then there's a certain point in which if they don't drop in time, then the grade that they earn would be the grade on their college transcript. So just making sure students are aware of those dates and understanding if it is too much, that they communicate that with their teachers, instructors, their graduation support manager, and all of that. And that is okay. Students participating at all, even if in the high school experience you take 1 or 2 concurrent classes, that's a huge win and a great growth opportunity to prepare for that next step after high school.
Absolutely. One last question, because it is time to go. Karoma wants to know, what do I do to get into some of these things? And Karoma, which is, I think, stands for something itself. Talk to your teacher. Your teacher will help you get those things loaded into your schedule, and you and your GSM and your teacher will work together for some of that. And it doesn't have to go through TCC. It can go through that TEL. And so just in all ways, communicate with those teachers. All right. Okay. Like I said, you're driving the topics around here. Let us know through DM. You can DM the school. You can DM me. What do you want to know more about? And we will put it on the schedule, and we will get specialists to talk about it with you. And you can ask all the questions you want. And so until next time, next week, we are talking about homework help. Is it mandatory? Is it required? What is it? I don't even know. So we will have some folks from Homework Help and FEV Tutor coming to talk with us. Until next time, thank you for making EPIC a top place to work and to learn.